Hello friends, welcome to my channel SushantChessWise. Today we are at the next topic of analysis of a complex position, and we are also merged it with another topic, the positional sacrifice. So we have discussed earlier in one of the lessons that what is positional sacrifice all about. Unlike a normal sacrifice, I told you, it depends on some positional factor which plays important role, or sometimes various small positional factors which contribute towards the combination. So of course we don't have a forced like white to play and win or black to play and win. After sacrificing material, the play goes on, and of course the side who has sacrificed has very good play. Generally is somewhat better. So today I am going to tell you why the sacrifices are done, what could be the reason, how to consider them. So we will have this position here. See, it's black to play. Let's see what's going on in the position. See, you can see right now the last move has been knight b5. So the knight has just hit this queen, and the queen is struggling to have place here. Okay, black has see several pluses in the position. Rook on a8 is see good. The c4 passer is there. Knight is the strongest piece in this position. If you see, this knight is really well placed, and black is also intending to use his bishops. His bishops are also somewhat better. But right now, what to do? There is a big problem, right? Queen has very few options. If the queen c comes to c8, for instance, then see there is just rook e6 when we can't take with the queen due to nc7. Another problem is if we take fe, our structure is ruined. Plus c, white can always consider the move nd6 here, which will give him a good, very good play here, bishop pair and ruined pawn structure. Black also thought that see he can't do rook b6 here because knight b6. Now we can't go rook a4 because of bb6. This is very similar to the game, but this doesn't work. So soon black realized that his position looks decent. Maybe it's not that great. So what he thought, let's take some white pieces away from the position and then try to see if he can turn around something. So here what happens, generally instead of suffering in the position or instead of playing some defensive moves which we are being forced to do, we try to change the character of the game and make the opponent a defender. See, for which what we do, we sacrifice material and we snatch the initiative. Means we force the opponent for some time, where suddenly from an aggressive position he becomes the defender. So that is a big psychological switch during the game. And here see, black of course, see, I am talking about the move qb6 here. This queen wants to go to b6. So this is how black thought about it. See, qb6, this position we will keep. This we have to imagine in our mind before playing, of course, and then see whether this is worth the sacrifice. So what we have given, see, firstly we haven't given much. We have given queen for rook and bishop, okay, which is materially not too much. We can say slightly inferior. But see, look at this pawn now. This is a very strong pawn. Black is also threatening bishop c6 to win the knight. This knight suddenly has see no good places. c3 is guarded, and you see this e pawn is about to move, making this bishop see really very active along the diagonal. So if you see so many factors, you will realize that black is really doing good. See, knight can also jump to f4. So suddenly what has happened? White was put in a dilemma sort of what to do. And here he of course immediately played the wrong move. He went with nc7. This is what happens. See, the nature of the play changed. Many also think that black was threatening rook c6 followed by c3. That was also there. So after nc7, now it becomes really good for black. Black almost makes a combination. It's a black to play and win position. Do try to calculate in detail and then we will see what happened. Of course, black went rook a4. The queen is forced to leave the back rank, and now see series of checks start. But it's not as simple as it looks. Rook b1 check, kh2. Of course, be5 check. You must have seen this. g3. If f4, then see ef3 n percent. It's game over. Next, see we will take the e2 rook. So g3. Now see e3. Very strong move. But all this looks good. See, there is some weakness on h1, but we should never forget this check on e8. And if we miss that, it could be that we are missing a combination which white could have done. So here of course white played f3. We will see the reason why. First he lowered the bishop to f3 and now goes queen e8 check. See the first point, of course king has to go to g7. You must have noted kh7, then queen check, kh6, queen takes the bishop. This was the point of playing f3. The bishop on f3 hangs in many lines. Kg7 of course. Now see knight e6 check. See this is the point. This is what black had to see beforehand. If he plays fe here, things get really messed up. See queen check, king h6 forced, and see queen f8, kh7 or kg5, queen f3. In all cases you see now it is losing totally for black. See e3 hangs, h4 check is there. Okay, so this is really now bad. So of course black had seen kf6 here, but we need to see little more. There could be the move q d8 check, which again he holds. I will show you why. He plays rg2 first, knight f2, thinking that f3 and f2 should be in a bad position. Now see, it's almost a forced mate from h1. To try to calculate what happens to rook g1, meanwhile I will show you the game. So queen d8 check. Now see, king has to sidestep the checks. So king takes the knight, queen e8 check, king f6. The king has to keep the bishop supported. Now queen h8 check. If queen d8, then kg7. It's a no check position. Game over. So queen h8 check, and now see king can't go to g5. If kg5, then comes see queen e5 check. At least white will have a draw. King went to f5, keeping the bishop supported. See only one check. G pawn is pinned, so there is no g4 check. Queen c8 check. King g5. The king nicely hides. Now h4 would allow just kh6. So q d8 check, and after king h6, the black king is really safe. Now it's game over. White tried the only move rook g1, but this is what I meant before. You must have calculated by now. It's black to play, and a mate in 4 follows after knight g4 check, hg, rook b2 check, kh3. Of course rook g2 loses on the spot, and here mate in 2 after hg or bg4, both wins kh4, rook h2 mate. So you see the simplicity of the combination, which never looked that easy, which never looked as though it's going to work, or many will not even consider qb6 that easily. So when we see many of these kind of examples, lot of them, at least I would say sample size should be of 20-30 positions, so that we start have feel for those kind of positions. So the grasping of concepts, ideas will be there. That helps us to improve our judgment and the evaluation as well. So I hope you have learned something useful from this lesson. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.